Hello, I'm Harry Harding and welcome to my new online series. These are troubling and uncertain times for actors and indeed for the theatre industry. So I thought whilst we're all locked down, I would keep in touch with my fellow creatives by talking about our favourite subject, ourselves. In this series, I'll be interviewing fellow actors and creatives on everything from their favourite roles to dream castings to funny backstage mishaps and more. But before we proceed, please don't swear and please don't say Macbeth. Oh, hang on a minute. Cue the titles. My guest this episode is actor Noah Peter Fox. Noah is an actor from Hertfordshire and has performed in productions such as Frantic Assembly's Things I Know to Be True by Andrew Bovell and the Scandi noir vampire love story Let the Right One In, as well as an original play by Tom Jackson Wood, Patriotism is Not Enough, at the Hertford Theatre. In 2019, Noah spent 6 months in China teaching drama at Camp Greenwood's Beijing, before then joining outdoor education company Insight Adventures during the autumn. Before lockdown, Noah was preparing to play the role of Billy in the Barn Theatre's production of The Real Thing. Noah is hopeful to begin studying for his BA in acting at drama school this September. Noah, welcome to the show. Please don't swear and please don't say Macbeth.
Hello, Harry Harding. I promise not to. How are you?
I'm very well. Thank you for asking, Noah. You're the first guest to actually ask me that.
I know, I noticed. I thought I'd bring some politeness to the show.
Some much needed politeness. How are you doing? More importantly, how has lockdown been for you? How have you been coping?
I was working for the first maybe 5 or 6 weeks of it, so it kind of didn't change for a while, besides people were sort of staying away from me a bit more at work. But now that that's over, I'm just sort of, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm taking up new hobbies. I'm just trying to keep busy. I've been trying to take up drawing. So I even produced some fan art for Don't Say Scottish play. So look, this is what I've done of you earlier. Look at that. I will be warned though.
Wow.
Your eyes are quite scary because I can't do eyes.
Eyes are scary.
Well, yeah. So look at that. It kind of looks like Soviet propaganda. You look a bit like Lenin, I feel. And there's the bottom bit there.
Oh,
that's the crotch is quite difficult to do. I don't know if you can see. It's really difficult.
It's a bit out of proportion, the bottom half there. I think it needs more definition.
I started with the top half and then I had lunch and I came back to it, you see. And yeah, I don't know what, I think I've added in a tucked out shirt for comic effect, but you can't really see it. So, and also your hands, if you notice, no fingers. I can't do fingers.
Merge it to one blob. Yeah.
I've sort of gone with the idea, perhaps you're wearing PPE to keep it in theme with or oven gloves or I don't know what, but yeah, there's the tie clip. And there's your beard. But I can send it in to you. I'll send it into the PO box.
Please do. I'm deeply, deeply honoured by that. Thank you so much. That's such a lovely thought.
I want it on that wall in the background. It's all right. Don't you
I,
worry.
I need some artwork for the wall, and do you know what? That will be the first thing. That'll be brilliant.
Yeah, I
Series
think the
two,
white wall needs
I'm
a
gonna have that.
black and white pencil drawing of you.
Yeah.
Yes, wicked. Fantastic. There we go.
I thought I would dive straight in and talk about your two roles in Things I Know to Be True and Let the Right One In. Both very different productions, both of which I had the privilege to also be a part of. Both troubled, but also very different characters. So would you say that those productions inspired you to want to pursue acting as a career? Or is it something you've always been interested in and doing those productions maybe focused in?
In terms of acting as a career, it was like, I don't know, I've never even asked myself what I wanted to do. That was obviously, that's what I wanted to do. Those two plays, yeah, they are a bit different. One's a 12-year-old bullied Swedish boy, and the other's, like a 25-year-old coke addict from Australia somewhere. They were great productions to be a part of. And of course, both with the good Harry Harvey himself.
Well, that is.
I think that was the link.
That I think all actors aspire to, being in a show with me.
It was a privilege.
I think it's fair to say that they were both very challenging roles. I mean, deeply affecting and emotional. Ben, of course, with his issues and his anger and his troubles with addiction, and then of course you had Oscar, who was such a troubled soul. He was bullied. He had a difficult relationship with his mother, and so then it must have been incredibly challenging for you as an actor taking on roles like that.
At the time, I remember I spent all my time reading those plays over and over again, trying to, just make sure I had the story in my head. I feel like my main aim whenever I do a play or take on a character is to try and be as free and relaxed in the moment of performing it when it happens. I read a book called by Harold Guskin, How to Stop Acting, and it sort of is like you have to drop everything that you've been taught before, and because before that, if it was a school play, I'd always try and I'd always be trying to replicate what I'd done before. Whereas when I joined the sort of barn theatre, I thought maybe I need to drop that and just try my best to just live in each moment of the character. But it's difficult because you always have these sort of ideas in your head that I'm going to walk in the door that way, or I don't think I walked in any door in either of the plays, but you know what I mean? Like you go into it with an idea. That's the aim. I want to be as free as possible, free as a bird when I act. And that's the goal. I want to try and reach that one day.
That was actually a very good answer. And I'm surprised that you've read a book. I did not know that.
I'm reading a book at the moment.
Would you say that you have a favourite character that you've ever played in your whole life, in any productions? Was there a role that you particularly enjoyed the most for whatever reason?
I quite enjoyed being Mickey in Blood Brothers. I was off sick for a while, then I came into it, and then I auditioned for it and got it. And then I didn't have a lot of time before it was going up, so it stripped away any pretentiousness that could have happened, because I could have spent too much time getting involved in putting so much thought into it that I kind of it was only up in a couple of weeks, so I just had to learn the words and get into it. But I ended up having the most fun. Maybe Iago. I think from that moment on, I realised that I have to play this person. I have to. But yeah, probably Mickey in Blood Brothers, which I didn't realise until now. But there you go.
That's what happens when you come on my show. You have moments of
have epiphanies. I feel like St. Paul. I know.
So, in 2019, you were in an original play by Tom Jackson Wood, Patriotism is Not Enough, for Contexture Theatre's Right Here, Right Now, as part of the Hearts and Essex Festival of Playwriting. So, how did that come about? What's the story there?
It was shortly after we did Things I Know to Be True, and I started talking with Carol and Trevor, and they were like, "We know someone who's doing like an original play, and maybe you'd like to audition to play a soldier in World War One." And obviously, I looked the part, so then I went for it, and then it was was a lot of fun. It was again, it was done over a very short period of time, so a very little thought went into the preparation for the character. So you ended up just having a lot more fun and just being free in it. And it was only a one performance thing because it was just part of like a festival. But it's you know, it's quite fun to compete in a friendly way with lots of other fresh new writers in the area. So yeah, it was good to be part of this team that I'd only met over such a short period of time.
Was it just you?
No, it was. I think it was the four of us.
Right.
I think the four of us. Yeah, it was you know, and there was like, so it was about 6 people in total, which is quite a short, like that's quite a small amount of people for a group putting together a new play for in a short amount of time. So yeah, it was quite exciting. Always had something to do, and yeah, it was good. It was good fun to be a part of.
So now we can't not talk about your 6 months in China. I mean, what an incredible and brave venture to undertake. I mean, amongst many other things, you taught drama at Camp Greenwoods in Beijing. So what was that experience like? I mean, was there a specific type of drama that you taught there? Did you have to sort of adapt your teaching style while you were there?
I not only had to adapt my teaching style, I had to create a teaching style. But I sort of went along the lines of I almost took on the role of my drama teachers. I think they taught me a lot about acting. They taught me how to group organise children and make them do things. So putting on a pantomime, like every week we'd do Cinderella as like a pantomime with a bunch of children whose second language is English, or they only have one language and it's, you know, Mandarin. So it's quite difficult to sort of, you know, get them in a group and tell them their buttons and that's Cinderella or whatever. But it's, you know, it was a good challenge, and sometimes it ended up being an actual play that you could watch at the end of the week. So it was, but it was really important because a lot of the kids out there, they don't get that opportunity to experience sort of like art in any way in their education system. So it was probably, even though it was probably rubbish from my perspective, considering how lucky I've been in this country to, you know, experience, you know, doing drama productions, but to them it was, you know, something new. And so yeah, it was actually quite a good experience, I think.
Do you mind if I ask you a personal question regarding your experience?
Not at all.
What drove you to take on this venture? Was it madness, or was it a sort of eagerness to explore the world? What was your reason for going out there, or was it just you know, you wanted a personal journey for you?
It's probably a combination of those two. I think you've answered it. It was, I still am a bit mad from it. Yeah, it's a combination of the two that you've just said. It was, I did want to see the other side of the world because I'm, you know, I'm looking out my window now. I'm a bit bored of that now. And I've, you know, at one point I was missing it out there, but you know, it's completely like, for a few months my view outside my window were these like giant mountains, and outside there'd be tons of people whizzing by on bikes, and I've had, you know, all sorts of just crazy experience. I thought I need to just do something completely different now, and that led to teaching education in China.
What an incredible achievement, though. I mean, you must be proud. I certainly would be, of doing that, of raving, you know, that sort of new and exciting world. Is it one of your proudest achievements? Is that fair to say?
It's certainly quite a colourful achievement. It stands out. I don't know how important it will be, but maybe it will be. It's, you know, it's occasionally, I don't know. Yes, it was. I'd say it was.
Would you say that going to China, teaching drama out there to, as you said, young children whose second language is English, would you say that has perhaps changed you in any way, or the way that you may approach drama and acting in the future?
Definitely. Probably in ways that I won't even notice, like in my subconscious. Like, I don't know, acting's all about your imagination, and I feel like I've learned more in the last 6 months about anything than I have in my entire life. And it's all about having the experiences and these characters that have been, you know, slideshowed across my face in all these different places, having to learn all these different things. I'm sure it's probably all congregating in there, and, you know, I don't know, making me prepared for the next whatever role I take on. I'd say definitely. definitely.
That's actually very nicely set up my next question. So thank you for that. And that
That's all
is,
right.
if you could play any role in the world, what would that role be, and why? What is your dream role, as they say?
In terms of characters that are already about, again, I sort of did touch on Iago being quite an interesting character to me to want to play. What I've taught myself recently is that the characters I want to play haven't been invented yet, and I'd quite like to start maybe writing and making these characters up. But Iago, as it stands, would be a dream role to play. I don't know if that will happen. Yeah, it will happen. Why not? Yeah, it'll happen. That's what I want to do. That's what I'm going to try and do.
That was no, there was some great answers. They really were, especially like what you said about perhaps your dream role hasn't been written yet.
No, I don't think my dream role has been. I think when I look back at my favourite actors, and I look at the roles they've played, like I'm sure when they were kids or when they first realised they wanted to act, they didn't have a clue about they'd be playing that iconic role or that role that suited them so well. They probably had no idea. For now, I'm just interested in growing as a person and growing as a performer, and just and hoping that by the time I reach that opportunity to play whatever role it might be, I'll be there.
So finally, Noah, are there any theatrical projects in the future that you're looking forward to getting back to once lockdown is lifted?
Just before this all started and kicked off, I was going to be in The Real Thing by Tom Stoppard. So Tom Stoppard, that would have been good.
So it's always nice to meet and talk to aspiring and emerging actors. I think it's fair to say that you are an aspiring actor.
I'd say so.
I know that you have dreams for future training. So is there an intention to go to drama school in the near future?
Yes, actually, in September, I'm going to start a BA Hons in acting. Yeah, that'll be the next step, and I'm over the moon. It's taken me, honestly, it's taken me years. Like I ended up going to China. I got so bored of trying to get into drama school.
So that's why you went to China.
Yeah, boredom.
Always exciting to watch and follow the careers of young actors who are just starting out, and I will certainly keep an eye on yours with great excitement.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. I've got a fan.
I mean, you could say I'm like a mentor to you, like
in some ways. I mean, I have quite the inspiration, an artistic inspiration as well. So there you go. There's the evidence.
Mr. Noah, it's been so lovely to see you and chat to you again. Thank you so much for my gift. I'm very touched by that. It's really kind of you.
Thank you very much. Take care of yourself. I hope you have a lovely day.
I will. Stay well and stay safe. If you would like to be a guest on Series 2 of Don't Say Macbeth, then you can send me a private message on Facebook or Instagram. Or if you're lucky enough to have my telephone number, you can send me a WhatsApp message.